Hello, my lovely friends. My name is Rue. How do you do? Welcome back to my channel. I'm sitting in my living room today. Because it's kind of warmer in here, and I don't know. I thought it would be fun to change the scenery. Hi, this is gonna be a weird video. But you know what? You clicked on it, so what does that say about you? These are my co-stars. This is Henderson, and this is Seal. Yes, his name is just Seal, and Simba's over here. It's raining outside, so you may be able to hear that. But I thought I would film, because it's always nice to film on a rainy day. I'm tapping on Miralax, because today we're going to talk about getting a colonoscopy. Sorry. I don't know. I just thought it was like an interesting experience to talk about. And I found it very helpful to read other people's experiences before mine, like positive experiences. So I thought maybe I could make a video out of it. If this isn't your thing, then that's fine. But like, I love rambly videos. I'm gonna tap on gut related things, prep related things. I'm sorry. Again, I'm sorry. So there may be some chatting about gastrointestinal things in this video. So if that's not your jam, I get it. I'm not gonna get like super gross or anything, but I mean, it is what it is. So I had a colonoscopy at the beginning of October. I think it was like October 7th or something, which I had been wanting since the beginning of the year, because I have problems. And that's the only way to get like legitimate answers for what's going on. So I'd like seen my like GP, and they were very dismissive. But they did give me a referral to a gastroenterologist. So I saw the gastroenterologist in July. And she scheduled me for 2 different tests. I'm only going to talk about the colonoscopy because the other one is a little weirder. But so I had the first one in August, end of August, and then the colonoscopy was originally scheduled for the end of September, but then the doctor, or the person doing my procedure couldn't work that day, so I had to reschedule for October 7th. Yeah, and I just want to say, like, if you have to get a colonoscopy, like, when I realized that, like, that's what I needed, I was, like, terrified. But then the more I read about it, the more I'm like, okay, it's fine. And honestly, after the test I had before, it was nothing. But yeah, I thought that I would talk about it in case any of you have to experience it anytime soon. It's really not that big of a deal. I mean, it's normal to be nervous, but I had a pretty good experience. Anyways, the day before a colonoscopy, you have to do the prep, which is, everyone always says that's the worst part. And it is. But honestly, it's not that bad. Like, you just need to be near a toilet all day. I watched TV like literally all day and like did my prep stuff, and was right near the bathroom, and it's fine. Like, clears you out. And honestly, I didn't really, I don't know, I didn't think it was too bad. So my prep was Miralax and Dulcolax. Miralax is an osmotic laxative, so it draws water into your gut, so it makes things easier to move along. And then the Dulcolax is like a stimulant, I guess. That's not the right word. It like stimulates your gut to move. So you do like, oh gosh, how much was it? I think it was like 7 capfuls of this, because like one serving is a cap. And you sort of split it up and drink it gradually with lots of fluids. And then like in the middle of it you take a Dulcolax. But yeah, it's what you would expect it to be like. I didn't really think it was too bad, it worked good for me. You don't eat anything all day. I mean, you don't eat solid foods. You can't have anything with red or blue dye. Like anything that would show up in your gut, you can't have like the day before. So lots of clear liquids, which like I had broth, and that was just, I drank a lot of broth because like so many fluids, like clear fluids, are like sweet, and I didn't want to drink sweets all day. It's gross. So I had a lot of broth, which I did Campbell's chicken broth, which like I don't normally eat animal products, like buy animal products, but this was like, an extraneous situation or whatever, where I just wanted like something that I knew would be good. So I drank a lot of Campbell's chicken broth, and it was good. So I'd suggest chicken broth from Campbell's if you have to do prep. I was gonna like tap on foods and stuff that I ate, but it's been so long that I like no longer have a lot of it. But I got some vegetable broth out of my fridge, which I did not drink because this is gross plain. It's really gross. Trust me. But it is something you can have while you're prepping. Where was I? So yeah, you do the prep the day before. My procedure, I had to be there at, what time was it? Oh man, what time was it? 11 maybe? I think I had to be there at 11. But it's not like there was a lot of time. Like, I want to say you probably get there an hour before or more before your procedure. So my fiance had to drive me there because you have anesthesia and you're not allowed to drive after you have anesthesia. So he drove me. Oh, and I couldn't drink anything from like midnight until the procedure. So I'm like thirsty, hungry, like just super tired, ready to be done with it. So we get there and you check in, and then they called me back to like fill out paperwork, and then I went back to the waiting room, and then they called me back to like take my like vital signs or whatever, blood pressure. Is that all they do? Blood pressure? I don't know. She kind of just like asked me like general questions and stuff. Also, the nurse who did that was like so sweet and so nice, which helped put me at ease. And then after that, I went back to the waiting room for a while, and it was a little while before they called me back, and so they brought me back into like my room or whatever, it was like a room with a bed, and you have your own bathroom, and yeah, there's a TV. So they like gave me my little robe with like the little grippy socks, and I put that on. They also had me take a pregnancy test because I'm like at that age where that can happen. So if you're like a younger AFAB person, probably have to take that. Pee in a cup. So I changed, and another nurse came in, and she did my IV, which was in my hand, right here. She used like some lidocaine to like numb, because I guess it can be kind of a painful spot to like stick a needle. She put the IV in, and then she left, I believe. She also gave me the remote and was like, here, you can watch TV until your procedure. So I found Boy Meets World on TV and sort of watched it. Then the anesthesiologist comes in and introduces himself, asks if I have any questions. I did not. I was just like super nervous. And then the doctor comes in, introduces himself, asks if I have any questions, and then, you know, he leaves. And eventually they come in and wheel me through the hall. I couldn't really see because they took my glasses off. I'm just like blind, getting rolled through the hallway. And they like roll you into like a little like operation room, but I mean, I wasn't getting an operation, but it's like a little room where they do the procedure. And it was super cold. There's people everywhere, and it's like they're just like bam, 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 like doing stuff. They're like, here, move here, do this. We're gonna do this to you now. We're putting heart monitors on you. Like roll over on your side, and they like put a little oxygen mask on me. Let me switch. I'm getting very chatty and forgetting to tap on things. This is the Dulcilex. So weird. So they're like, it's like really, really fast. They're doing all this stuff. I can't see anything because I'm blind. And then the like anesthesia person is like, all right, you're gonna start to feel sleepy now. And I was just like, the weirdest thing. I was like actually like super excited to like see what anesthesia was like, because I've never had anesthesia. And it's like a really light, like, it's not like super intense anesthesia. It's like, you know, you're maybe under for like 30 minutes or so. Propofol is what it's called. But so I like, after she said that, it's like almost like the like the room sort of kind of tilted a little, maybe. And then I had like the most like pleasant, like high feeling. I was like, oh, this is nice. And then I was just gone. So I like start waking up in the like recovery room, which is like just a room with like several people recovering from procedures, and there's nurses, and you know, they're just making sure that you come out of anesthesia okay. So I like, when I first wake up, I'm like very out of it. And like when I'm waking up, I'm thinking I just woke up from a nap at my house. I like completely forgot about anything that happened over the past day until I started hearing this nurse's voice, and I was like, wait, who's that? And then I remembered, I'm like, oh, I'm at the hospital. I had a colonoscopy. And she was like, hey, you doing okay? And like at first I like couldn't really talk, and I was just kind of laying there like super tired and like just wanting to go back to sleep because it was like such a pleasant sleep. But like I started to wake up more and more and more, and she asked me like, what do I want as a snack, and a drink, and I'm like, I can't have dairy. What do you have? So I ended up applesauce and water is what I settled on. So I guess like once you're awake, they're like, all right, we're gonna wheel you back to the room. And they gave me my applesauce and my water. And I think they took the IV out while I was in the recovery room. I was still very out of it. The anesthesia was so cool though. Like, I swear it was like a chunk of my life was just erased from my memory. Like, it wasn't like a normal nap to me, although it felt really good when I woke up. But it was just like, just a chunk of my brain space just got deleted. Like, it was completely not there. Like, I wasn't alive, you know? I don't know. It was really fascinating to me. I enjoyed experiencing that. As weird as that sounds. So they roll me back to my little like room where I'm alone. So I can like recover. You're not allowed to like get up and do stuff by yourself, because you can like fall over, because the anesthesia can make you a little loopy. So I'm like eating my applesauce and having my water, and I guess they went and got my fiance because he walks in pretty soon after, and I'm like, oh hey. And then I can get up and like change my clothes now because he's there, so he can get me if I fall. Let me tap on. I have some honey because you're allowed to eat honey. So I go change into my clothes, and I'm like still a tiny bit loopy from the anesthesia, and I like literally almost fell over. I was like changing clothes in the bathroom, and I like almost fell over, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I like went and laid in my bed for some more, and like I covered myself up because I was like really cold, and I was like shaky, which I don't know if that was like just because I was cold or because I was like coming out of anesthesia, but I was like very shivery. So we just like waited. I think a nurse came and like gave me like sort of like your follow-up instructions, like what you should do, things to watch out for, blah blah blah. And then we waited for the doctor to come in and like tell me about what they found, whatever. So he comes in and he's like, okay, so 2 things. He's like, I can't remember how he said it, but he said I have a really long colon, which is called redundant or tortuous colon. Which is extremely helpful to know because it explains a lot. So that was the first thing. The second thing was, they found a small 5 millimeter, polyp, benign polyp. And he said that that's unusual for my age. So like if I had waited for, age 45 or whatever, when you're supposed to have your colonoscopies, it could have like grown into something bad, like cancer. So he said it was good that I came in, so they removed that and like sent it to pathology. And it was they sent me the pathology reports. It was tubular adenoma is what it's called. I'm like fascinated by medical stuff, if that's not obvious. Also terrified of going to the doctor, so those 2 things are not compatible. Anyways, so he explained that stuff, and asked if I had any questions. I was like, I didn't at the time because I was just like stressed. I don't know what's going on. And after that, they said I could go home, and they have to wheel you out of the hospital in a wheelchair so you don't fall over, even though I was fine at that point, but I was like, whatever. So my fiance goes and gets the car, and like this lady comes in with a wheelchair, and she wheels me out of the hospital to the car. I get in the car and we go home. Had something to eat, had stuff to drink. Yeah, good times. So, moral of the story: if you need a colonoscopy, it's not a big deal. It's really like you're asleep for the whole thing. Okay, I guess I should also mention I'm in the United States, and other countries, they don't put you under. They don't anesthetize you. So, could be different if you're in another country. So, you know, this was my experience in the United States. But yeah, I'm really glad I had it done. Because now I know what's going on, and it eliminates like so many different other possibilities, so I don't have to worry about any of those. I had that polyp removed, great. Oh, we also said that I'll like get another one in 5 years, just to make sure there's nothing else growing in there, which is great. I love that. I love more tests is better. I'm good with that. Love preventative healthcare. But yeah, really interesting experience all around. Extremely helpful to know what's going on. Unfortunately, it's not really something I can fix, but it's nice. It's just good to have, like, to not be constantly wondering, like, what is it? Like, how do I treat it? Now I know how to treat it. Or at least I know what not to do, and, like, what I'm capable of fixing, and I can have realistic expectations, we'll say that. So very, very good, valuable explanation for me. And I have been working on trying to find a solution for it. So food stuff does not help me at all, because it's like, I guess I should explain what a redundant colon is. My colon's too long. And when your colon is too long, it has a bunch of like loopy loops in it. And so it's very easy for things to get stuck in them, which is the problem I was having. So there's like, I tried everything diet related before this, which is why I was like, I need a colonoscopy because nothing I try works. So when I first found out this information, I was like, okay, I know that fiber makes it worse for me, which is counterintuitive. For most people, fiber helps. But fiber bulks, which gets stuck. So that, my first thought was like, okay, maybe I can just do a low fiber diet, but like that cuts out everything I love eating, and it would also make my diet very unhealthy, which I don't want. So I started taking Miralax, which is like, doctors recommend this stuff like all the time. It's safe to take long term. And it like, all it does is draw water into your gut. So I've been like playing around with taking this and figuring out like the correct dosage. I do feel like it's helping a little. It's like, it's never gonna be fixed. I can never fix it, but I think this is helping. But I did like up my dose a little more this week, And I think it's too much because I got a headache and like I'm like super bloated, like retaining a lot of water. And so I'm like, okay, so maybe dial it back a notch. Because that's like, you can get dehydrated because it's like drawing all your water into your gut. So, and I drink a lot of water. So I think that dosage was just too high, which is unfortunate because I feel like I might need a higher dosage for it to be the most helpful, but what can you do? So, yeah, I'm basically just taking like 1 cap a day with like my largest meal, and seems to be helping a little. I was really hesitant to like take medication long term, but then I realized like you have a literal medical problem which requires assistance. Like, you don't have a normal gut. You might need a little something extra. So I kind of like realized that and sort of made peace with that. So that's what I'm doing. In case you wanted to know all about my gastrointestinal problems. I know I've mentioned that I've gut problems on here before. And maybe some of you do. So I don't know. The colonoscopy was just like super interesting to me, and it's easy to talk about, like a lot. There's a lot to talk about, and I thought, you know, when I watch ASMR videos, I don't care what people are talking about. So that's what I did. Let me tap on something else. Have you guys ever heard of this? It's like IB card, which a doctor recommended this to me, and it's not for me. Because I was reading about it, and like I guess I should say what it is. It's peppermint. But it's like specifically designed to like dissolve in your gut. Anyways, it like calms your gut, which also slows down your gut muscles, which is not what I need. I don't need anything that slows my gut down. But anyways, I have this. Also, I tried it once, and it gave me like peppermint breath. Like, it was like coming out of my mouth. It was very weird. Anyways. I just wanted to tap on it. Okay. But yeah. If you guys have any questions, if I forgot anything, I'd be happy to talk to you. Like, if this is something that you have to do and you're nervous about it, I can answer questions. Because I completely understand, like, being anxious about something medical. And also, like, that is, you don't know how it's gonna work. Like, I like to know how things are gonna work, and it makes me calmer. So obviously it's like not gonna be the same everywhere you go, but you know, I think there's a little bit of overlap. So yeah. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you don't need a colonoscopy. I hope you enjoyed this? Question mark? At the very least, I hope you enjoyed the tapping and the rambling. Yeah, that was my experience. Sorry, this is a weird video, but I'm a weird person, so okay. I'm gonna shut up now. Thank you guys for being here, for hanging out today on my channel. Say goodbye to Henderson and Seal. Henderson was a birthday gift. He's waited. He's a what is he called? Death cap. Oh gosh, death cap moth, hawk moth, or something like that. He has a skull on his back. It's a real moth. It's really cool. Anyways. Okay. I love you guys. Thank you for being here today, and I will see you in